You found a show.
Welcome to Warrior Class.
Where the teachers will pass.
Where the teachers, and you will too if you pass. Hopefully, y'all can hear me. I don't think Belay can.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
It was all static before the show. I don't know what just happened.
And you're behind, like you said, it's static before the show. I don't know what happened. Like that. So I don't know what's going on, man. Welcome, y'all. Come on in. This is the importance of the radical and revolutionary Black narrative episode. We're going to be joined by director and producer Bree Kelly, but she had to attend the funeral. Condolences to whomever she was. Whomever's the funeral is for. And we'll be bringing her on in a couple of weeks. In May, when is Mother's Day? The Saturday, it's in May, but the Saturday before Mother's Day, I won't be here because I'm going to be in Virginia. My son is graduating from Hampton. So.
Oh, baby. That fast, that quick.
Shout out to Oluwade. And this year, Yemi is graduating from high school. So.
Wow, man. This is crazy. Yemi and Ade, the two hustlers. I remember there's two kids. It was two kid hustlers back in the day, hustling food off of me, hustling food out of me. When I say hustling, y'all, that's what I mean. They weren't drug dealers. They was hustling food at events from people. They knew how to get it. They was already eating, but they wanted to eat. They were slick with it. I used to love messing with them, man, as kids, man.
Yeah, there's a picture of my daughter Jamie. She was little. She wanted this a whole pineapple filled with all kinds of fruits and juice. I said, girl, you're not getting that. It's $20. And so she said, okay. She left me, went to Belay and convinced him to get it more.
Oh, man.
I'm like, you better eat the whole thing too, or you're in trouble. And she ate that whole thing.
That picture of her, that pineapple about big as her, man. And she was concentrating with that straw, boy. Man. It's been a minute, man. It's been a journey, man.
Yeah.
You have some really, really great children. I feel like my siblings kind of in a way, but then me, I kind of feel like my daughter a little bit. It's a crazy, relationship, man. Knowing them for this long, man, it's been really nice, man. Knowing your family, seeing them grow up.
I can bubble. I said, wait a minute, Dave's graduating from college. Oh man, he said, I remember he was a little boy catching me in the armbar and Putin. Right.
Time really, man. It reminds you to take advantage of time when you see how it moves in the youth. It don't move the same in us because we get caught doing the same things. But when you see the youth in the timeline, it reminds you, man, and it's never too late to do things, to try things. 4 years, boom. 5 years, boom. Just like that.
I talked to my best friend a couple of days ago, Anthony. We've been friends since we were 4 years old. Well, I was 4, he was 5.
You got friends? You got friends, Bubba? My fault, excuse me. Go ahead.
And so he, we were talking about just life, man, and how we still, he said, we don't look like close to 60, what close to 60 looked like when we were young. So times have gotten better, I guess. We've gotten smarter with how we are living. But he was, talking about Chicago. He said Chicago, though, is just as violent. I said, it's bad that people from around the world, that's what they know Chicago for, violence. They don't know the beauty of the city unless they've been there, A lot know the dopeness of the people when they meet the people, but it's like the violence overshadows everything. He said, for all the changes that take place with us getting wiser, we're wise as far as our health and stuff like that, but not as far as how we deal with capitalism and the raising of our children in this capitalistic world. So it's just as violent as it was. Now, some people try to tell you that it's more violent, but it's not. It's just as violent. He still lives there. But I won't paint a false picture of it either. Student of mine, we all went to eat, several students, and one student's like, Chicago is not violent like that. It's beautiful. Everybody looking at her like, no, please. And I said, don't do that. They're looking at you like you're lying because they know. One thing people know about Chicago is it's violent. I said, that's okay. She said, Chicago is beautiful. I said, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. Right. But it's violent.
Speaking of,
beauty's relative, because now this house we have, it's not as big as the other house that's in Atlanta, but this house is by a lake, we got a lot of land. You're not going to have no land. First of all, if you buy a house, you're not going to get a house this size with a lake behind it at all, especially for what we paid. If you got a house by Lake Michigan, that means you in Streeterville and you paid millions.
Right.
So it's a different world, man. That's for me. When I moved down here, I used to be, I would tell my wife's from here. I'm not claiming, to be from Atlanta. Damn that, I'd never be a Atlanta native. Damn that. And, I started thinking like, shit, man. I look out my door and it's peace. I could open my curtains if I want to. I'm just trained from living in Chicago not to open the curtain. Like the curtain can stop a bullet, Me and the wife first got together. I said, hey, close the curtain. Somebody can shoot in here. And she's like, huh? That's foreign to her. Now, of course, it's not that the curtain can stop a bullet. The idea is if people look in your house, they can shoot in your house, Now, people down here will say, well, why? Why would they do that? Up north, they know why. They shoot in your house and they climb through the window after they shattered it.
Yeah, if you live in certain parts of Atlanta, you know why too.
But, my wife learned, a dude knocks on our door at the other house that we have, right? And of course, that area is gentrified now and all that. But when we first went over there, the Bankhead area, he knocked on the door. I said, hey, how can I help you, brother? He said, man, I just wanted to, congratulate you all on your nice furniture. I said, well, how do you know our furniture? He said, well, your window's open. I looked in, saw your nice furniture. I said, man, get the fuck out of here. Right. And so I got past 8 minutes. Boom. I said, get the fuck out of here. And he said, huh? I said, man, get out of here. You've been looking in our window. But then my wife realized, damn, what you've been saying all this time. I said, yes, it's people that they'll evict you, man. I was walking downtown, dude following me. First of all, the dude is only, sorry, my short brothers, dude only 5'6".
Oh, that's half of the.
Weighed like 100, and 40 pounds. Okay, you know, shit, he's bigger than I was, but he wasn't taller than I was. And a little fella like that, he got to have some go, Jack. And this dude, I can tell he ain't had no go. But anyway, I'm walking, he's following me. So I stop. He stops. I said, this motherfucker. So I walk again, he walking. I turn around and face him. He said, oh, you must be from Chicago. I said, yeah. How do you know? He said, because I'm from Chicago. He said, I've been bicking motherfuckers down here for 13 years. He said, but the way you moving, and you knew that I was following you. I said, he from back home. He said, man, if you wasn't from Chicago, I'd bick you. I said, and if I wasn't from Chicago and you knew it and didn't try to bick me, I'd kill you right here on the street. He says, that's Chicago. I'm like, nah, motherfucker, that's me. And that I learned that from my mama and daddy who ain't from Chicago. They from Mississippi. So, you know, it's that too. Now that's one thing. I was on the bus down here, dude, talking about grits. He just went on a rant. First of all, you're in Atlanta. These folks down here love grits. So if you're not, well, for my folks out there, don't come down here dissing grits in Atlanta. These motherfuckers love it.
Don't come down here dissing don't go anywhere dissing the culture. That's
right. They culture, right? So it's foolish. And it don't matter where you're from. Don't think you're from somewhere you can't get handled. So I'm on the dude going off on grits. So finally somebody, you say another goddamn thing about grits, I'm whooping your ass. And dude said, this dude want to fight me over grits. It wasn't about grits, dude. You're disrespecting them. You're disrespecting the culture, and they're seeing it as, you know, you're disrespecting them. It ain't about no damn grits. So, not really. So he said, anybody from Chicago on here, we don't eat grits unless it's a holiday or something. We got family from down south or something. We don't eat no damn grits. Anybody from Chicago on here? I had a book in my hand. I was reading that book like I know who, you know, I ain't him. I was not gonna be like, yeah, I'm from Chicago, yeah. They were like, man, get your ass. They put him off the bus. And I'm like, yeah, I'm from Chicago, but I ain't helping you, dude. I don't own Chicago. I'm not helping you on no shit, period. Because I didn't know the mug, but especially you're disrespecting these folks' culture. You know what I mean? You don't do that. I was talking to a girl when I was up in New York. Had a table at the Urban Action Showcase. She was like, oh, you're from Chicago? That came up. And me and my fiance going to Chicago. So I want, you know, he's nervous about it. But I told him, we from Harlem. He nothing happened to us. I said, sister, my advice to you is just stay on the beaten path. Go downtown, you know, have nice if you into museums, go see the museums.
See someone that
go into peace. We want to see the neighborhoods. I said, you do not want to go into the hood and see the hoods in Chicago. You do not. I said, sister, trust me. It doesn't matter where you're from. You do not want to do that. I said, you could go to goddamn Alabama somewhere and you don't want to go in their hood. You don't want to go in the hood in Chicago. She said, we from Harlem. He said, first of all, the hood. Everybody from Chicago know New York ain't about that like Chicago is. But I'm not going to come down, be here and be like, New York ain't about that. Like, get out of here. I'm not going to do that.
Speaking of, it's not where you're from and not, go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
The only thing I said when we drove me to New York, we were in the car with Amosun, who's from, you know, New York, from Queens. I said, man, y'all making songs like The Message, and it's so, goddamn it, it's the ocean right there. Y'all get stressed out, y'all can walk to the ocean. We get stressed out, goddamn it, I'm busting shots in the backyard to get my stress off. Of course, we got Lake Michigan, which my wife says is the ocean, but it's not as big as no doggone ocean. But and I was just joking about that. Ain't no way in the hell I'm going nowhere and disrespecting them. You know, y'all country mugs here in South Carolina, that would be stupid as hell. Then I'd be like, oh, they beat my ass. Don't do that. Don't disrespect folks. I made a post on and I realized how crazy people are. I made a post on Facebook and I said, stop thinking because you're from the North or from another country that people from the South are stupid. That's disrespectful, and that shows how ignorant you are, right? As the smartest person I've ever met in my life.
Me too.
This girl Samantha. I know you met me. I know. This girl Samantha is from Texas and loud country as shit. And she was a freshman at Howard, and she was one straight A student, but all her classes were like, you know, she a freshman, but she's doing calculus 3. She's doing advanced physics, all kinds of, you know, I'm like, damn. People say I'm smart, like shit. I feel like an ant compared to Samantha. But she be, you're so funny, Adam. Loud as hell and brilliant.
Mm-hmm. The smartest woman I ever met was from Decatur, Georgia. One of my classmates, and the smartest man was from Riverdale. Like, and I know people from all over. So
yeah,
absolutely.
So like, stop doing that. You know. Now you have people like Belay, then you know maybe think twice about the South, but then you no, but really, so Belay, we were all doing reports about different figures. I can't remember who he did, but Belay comes in and he's got his notes on napkin. Just one napkin. So people, laughing like, oh boy. And he is killing it. 2 hours talking about this person. He go, okay, here, and they going flipping the napkin. I say, well, wait, hold on. This dude is doing a 2-hour lecture with shit just all over it ain't even written like this. It's all angles and stuff on a napkin. I said, so do y'all see what I say about people from anywhere? Brilliance is everywhere. It's not just on the north, in the north, in Chi-Town, in New York, in LA. Get out of here.
In the school system, that was looked at as being slow. That same thing that I did. He can't even
look slow.
That was looked at being slow in school. In the school system, that looked at me as, but just how we look at genius, meaning, you know what I'm saying, not being able to recognize certain things.
Well, I got put out.
I used to write my rhymes like that.
I was working at Grady High School. They couldn't fire me. They moved me to Southside High School. The best thing ever. So Grady High School in Atlanta is considered, the smart school and shit. As far as public schools go, they moved me to Southside High School, which is considered, rough. Lean on me. Joe Clark need to be that type school, right? And I was in heaven when I got to Southside, to be honest. But at Grady, one, it was a brother who was the principal, but he would not allow any black people to get into the magnet program. My wife just said, Max, she went to Grady. They wouldn't allow any black students to get in magnet programs there. There's a brother doing that. And so I stepped to him, about that kind of thing. And he was like, well, you're black from Chicago. That's different from black here. I said, what?
Wow.
Yeah.
Where was he from?
I didn't even ask him because I didn't care. I just knew wherever he's from, he was Uncle Tom. So, Uncle Tom's everywhere.
I said, Sambo, more like it.
I saw a program, just speaking of that, there was a program. It was like, I guess it's a date. I didn't actually watch it. I saw the clip, but it was a dating show where like the person who's looking for someone, there's like several options, but they pop their balloon when they're not. I don't know if y'all are familiar with this, but they pop the balloon when they're not interested in the person,
Right.
as the person is giving information about themselves.
Right.
And then the host goes up to them and asks, okay, so, why did you pop your balloon? What weren't you interested in about this person? And this sister, it's a brother and a sister. The brother is the one who has the different dating options, and the sister said that one of the reasons why she wasn't interested in him was because he was from Alabama.
Yeah, I saw that one.
New York.
That's cold.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
He was saying, you want a wife and this and that, and they looking for husband, but because he from there, poop.
Yeah, he was an electrician, and she said she was looking for a doctor or a lawyer. Like, it was.
Well,
it was silly.
One of my students years ago, she ended up marrying a brother from Chicago, another student, and she said, I said, you never found nobody she's from Alabama. I won't say the city. Well, I say the city because y'all don't know. Bruton, Alabama. I said, you never found anybody in Bruton or anyone? She said, no, men in Alabama, they talk too slow, move too slow. This is somebody from, I said, every man in Atlanta, in Alabama. She said, yeah. So your daddy moved too slow. Her daddy was a big time hustler. Hustled so much that he lived on the street named after him.
Get out. Wow.
Yeah. And when I say hustle, I'm talking about this kind of hustle that D-Lay said earlier. He was intelligent with that. He could not be slow talking and slow moving,
right,
in a big hustle like that. I said, that's cold,
Just
he might have been slow talking and slow moving, but he wasn't thinking slow.
Right.
That's
right,
the
exactly.
important part.
Right, exactly. So somebody said, I like shrimp and grits Cajun style. Yeah, I like me some grits too.
So
yeah, but y'all from the South. Well, I don't know. I think they from up north. But Virginia and DC and Baltimore, well, Maryland, that's considered the South too.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The first time I had fish and grits, I was in the Bronx.
Well, I've had it in the Bronx at Sylvia's.
Yeah,
I had it at somebody's house.
Any dish with grits is going to originate in the South.
Yeah, of course.
Right, of course. But I'm just saying.
Now, in Chicago, they try to make it fancy and say hominy.
that doesn't sound good to me. I don't know what it is. Yeah, that doesn't
I asked my mom, I said, Ma, they call at school, they gave us some grits, but they called it hominy. She said, well, hominy is the yellow corn grittier grit. I forget how she explained it. She said like that, but it's like that yellow, it's harder. The grain is harder.
So
I make yellow grits, but they're not hard.
Corn grits do seem like is that corn? That would be corn grits in the. They're all corn, but yellow corn.
I think it's all hominy. Yeah, I think it's all.
Just the yellow corn grits do seem like they cook. They take a little bit longer to cook or something. They're a little bit more. I don't know.
Now,
I think
the white grits people out there who call chitlins chitterlings. Did y'all grew up saying chitterlings?
All right, let's
I don't think anyone grew up saying chitterlings.
Speaking,
nobody.
I saw that in the store. I said, "What? What is this? What is chitterling? Mine's in the chitlin. It's in the chitlin bucket." She said, "That is the name, boy."
That's the Mandela effect. There used to be chitlins, now there's chitterlings. They weren't chitterlings when we grew up. Okay. Speaking of, it's not where you're from, is where you're at. And anything like we were just talking earlier. I took offense to a comment made by who was this? It was Joe Budden. I took offense to this comment that he made. He was talking about J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. Now, it is some relevance in what he was saying on another level, but not where he was talking. So he was talking about the battle rap and everything. I know everybody know or don't know what I'm talking about, but J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar are supposed to be in this, battle type thing going on. And he said You know, if you don't know, J. Cole recently bowed out and apologized for his part in the battle.
Mm-hmm.
So J. Cole, we got to talk about.
He'll take it on the chin.
We got to talk about that. But before we do, real quick,
if I could just interject just for a second, one of my Facebook
yes.
friends said that's why you can't trust light skinned niggas, because he was like,
sorry,
you know, he did. Because he just divested from it after they were so.
I didn't mean to laugh that hard. It's just I wasn't expecting Amaniki to say it and the way she came out of her mouth.
It
That's
was
what made it funny.
hilarious.
I'll say this, you know, one thing I'm not, and maybe because I'm light skinned. I listen to the jazz.
I want you to hold up your opinion, but I want you to hold up before you give your opinion.
I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna give my opinion. I'm just saying okay. Jared was bothered by him apologizing, and I'm finding it real interesting that black people are almost insulted or think he's weak because he apologized. That's all I'm saying.
I got you.
That's all I'm saying, and that right there, it to me shows where we're at in society right now.
I feel where you're going with that. But Joe Budden's, what he was saying is, okay, you got to think about it like this. Look at J. Cole and look at Kendrick Lamar. J. Cole is from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and everybody started laughing on the. Everybody started laughing on the set. Everybody laughed. He's like, "No, I'm serious, man. You know, he's from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Like, you know what I'm saying?" And I took offense to that, even though I'm not from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Well, let me say this. Well, I spent many years in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And every killer I know is from Fayetteville, was in Fayetteville, North Carolina at that time. Fayetteville, North Carolina is where Fort Bragg is. So Joe Budden is a goddamn fool. Mm-hmm. He's a fool in the punk.
New York thing.
Because Fayetteville, North Carolina, that's where you have the 101st Airborne, and you have the Pathfinders, you got Special Forces at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, which is Fort Bragg is in Fayetteville, North Carolina. So is he for real? He doesn't know what he's talking about to say that. So J. Cole being from Fayetteville, North Carolina,
it's a lot goes on in Fayetteville.
You better watch.
They call it Vietnam.
When we did Robin Sage, so Robin Sage is a exercise that we would do to graduate from Q course. All of Special Forces Q course, all of the city would get involved in it. They would wear these brown bands, that business or whatever is part of the exercise. There's not no place where goddamn, so they're used to exercises of killers, exercises of you're talking special operations missions going on, and the people in that city are involved. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but I'm saying it ain't no town of punks.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Warrior Class Show. My name is Bile. This is Amaniki, and if you've heard that, is Baba Balagoon Ojitade.
Anyway, I'll move on from that, but
I don't want to move on too far because I want to talk about the battle. I want to talk about the apology and everything, and me, and first of all, y'all may not know, I just introduced myself, but I will definitely say I am an MC. I used to be a rapper, back in the days, and signed and all that, but I will always be an MC. I was an MC before I was a rapper. And if you understand hip hop, then you understand what that means. And Baba is the same. He is an MC. He was a rapper at one time in a group, and had his music stolen, like I had my music stolen. We're both very good at our craft. And in battle rap, I've battled all over the East Coast. I've been on the blocks in the 90s in the Bronx, battling. I battled for money. I battled on. I was going to battle on MTV, but Sway told me it was a setup and told me to just take all the free stuff in the back and go head home because they weren't going to pick me anyway. And that's a true story, but I ain't going to even go into all that. But my point is this. I feel like I can comment on this as a battle rapper, as an MC, as somebody that was in the music and everything. Anybody can have their opinion. Me personally, No, I don't respect that apology. I don't respect it at all. I do respect apologies, but I don't respect that apology what he did. And the reason is because, for my opinion, I would respect it if it would have been no history between them of going back and forth, and Kendrick Lamar just put out a diss song, and then he put out his diss song and said, you know what, I ain't with that shit. I shouldn't have did that. I would respect that. And to most people who aren't into J. Cole like that, or Kendrick, or maybe into their music like that, they don't know that it's a history. So to them, that's all that happens. So they respect, they see it that way, and
he's the bigger person,
right? And I understand that. So I don't look at it like y'all stupid for that or whatever, for how you feel. Because in reality, apologizing for something that you don't feel comfortable about is good. It's okay, and it's a man to do that. I apologize all the time, except to Amaniki. But, let me just finish though. But let me just finish. So this here though, check it out.
That part.
So the point I'm making is, when you in hip hop, you don't throw rocks and hide your hand. So my position is, you don't keep saying these three. We know who the top two is besides you. So you don't keep saying the other top two get bopped in the head and I drop this on and say something for the past 10 years. You don't keep saying, once somebody say something, I'm gonna go off. The last song you just put out, I'm waiting for one of these dudes to say something so I can jump off on them. And then you've been doing that for 10 years and the dude finally jump off on you. And then all of a sudden, now you're sorry. But I understand being sorry for what you said in that response, because you didn't mean that stuff. So I understand you being sorry for not meaning, but don't say stuff you got to be sorry for. So I wouldn't accept your apology. I understand you said, but if I'm the rapper over there, you don't get to say this shit about me and then say, you don't get to do that.
Okay, so that only applies to rappers?
I'm talking about hip hop.
No, that only applies to rappers. I had a student that trained with me longer than you did, who disrespected me totally, and you were the one caping for it. If he apologized, would you bring him back? And I said, fuck no. It's the same type of thing, right? So he disrespects me, but you cape for him to come back. A person who totally disrespected me and disrespected my father. Come on, man. We got to think of that kind of shit, not just because it's a celebrity and because I like rap, but think about the shit, people that's close to you.
No, I don't I do not see that. It's totally different thing. This is music.
Not totally different.
This is music. This ain't an organization. This ain't a family. This ain't that. This is music.
We don't know. We don't know. We really don't know the relationship between Cole and Kendrick Lamar.
No, and I'm only speaking to the music. I'm only speaking to you throwing jazz music.
And I'm only speaking to class. I ain't speaking about the other shit.
No, but that's personal. That's different. To me, I don't see that as similar, but I respect your opinion. I'm just saying, if we're doing music, I understand when you say stuff. See, this is the thing. I understand Kendrick never said anything about J. Cole music, his album being garbage or any of that. He just said, I'm better than these dudes. These dudes bums next to me. Mm-hmm. J. Cole said, man, your album was garbage. Nobody liked that. He didn't mean that. That's not, when you say stuff you don't mean. See, that's like somebody getting angry. I'm getting angry at you, Bobby, and I'd be like, Bobby, you ain't really no good master. You ain't no good trainer. You ain't really no good instructor because I'm mad. That ain't true. And you know what I'm saying? Now I gotta come. I should apologize.
If you did that,
I should definitely apologize.
Well, I apologize. Then it's up to me whether I accept the apology. It really don't mean shit what the people looking think. It really doesn't mean shit what the people looking think. So even the way I dealt with the brother, right? It really didn't mean nothing what any of the other students thought. It didn't mean nothing what his mama thought, my wife. That's between me and him because he disrespected me. Now, if he had disrespected my wife, now it's between me, him, and my wife, but then I'd have beat his ass to sleep.
So he disrespected. So he disrespected
that kind of thing. So okay, now they're rappers, so their business is the world's, unfortunately, but that's part of celebrity. That's part of celebrity. To be honest with you, I don't give a fuck about celebrities because that's rich folks' problem. To be honest, that's rich folks' problem. But I'm just saying we got to keep the same energy around then. When you say you don't respect his apology, I mean, goddamn, for me, I don't care because they two rich dudes. They right now could be having goddamn tea and crumpets together, laughing that they got so popular because they were popular already, but now they're more popular and people talking about them again because motherfuckers got to stay relevant too.
Yeah, right? I understand.
So it could all be a work. They work us all the time with WWE. It could be a work, but whether it's a work or not,
it's right.
For me, I'm dealing with what you said. I don't give a fuck about J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. If I saw him on the street eating shit, I'd be like, oh, that's nasty. I wouldn't be writing. I saw Kendrick Lamar eating poop. I don't care enough, to be honest with you. But I'm only saying something to it because that is a problem that black folk have, where it's he did so-and-so, so I can't forgive. Goddamn, we dealing with that ourselves with people we know personally, sending all kinds of emails and all this bullshit. Yeah, we already know that kind of stuff is going on where people could just, grown men can't get together and apologize and work their shit out. Damn what people's opinions are. If the two of them, if he say, well, I take that on the chin, if they work that shit out, it really ain't about our understanding because we don't know them enough to have an understanding, really. We're just going by the character of Kendrick Lamar and the character of J. Cole.
Of the public
as men apologize, and we don't know what's behind that fully.
I'm just talking about music. I'm saying this is music. So in my mind, it's nothing to be too emotionally or anything to get physical. That's why I was saying it's a difference from rap beef and a rap battle. This is hip hop. So I come from battle rap. So I battle rap people all the time, and I never fought nobody over battle rap. So my thing is they should be able. I'm saying fuck your apology. I'm saying as far as I said previously, I'm talking as an MC. I'm speaking as if I'm Kendrick. I would be like, fuck your apology. I don't care about that because, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about musically. As people, no, I'm just saying as people, they could be, I already said they, well, I didn't say this off air. They could be friends. I could be, because just like I know another person when I used to play basketball back in the days. I can play with my best friends, but I'm going to play you as hard as I'm ever going to play anybody and talk all kind of junk, even if we playing video games. But afterwards, we are cool. And they could be like that. Now, as far as we talking about in life, grown men, I said it already, but I said it real quickly. In life, I apologize all the time for things that I do because I'm always self-reflecting my relationship. And grown men not being able to apologize, not be able to take it on the chin like he did in real life is sad. It's really sad. And especially when we in position that affect people around us. It's embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? And if you're in the public, it's even more embarrassing. So publicly, that's why I say I totally get it. You know what I'm saying? Even though we shouldn't care what the public say, he did that to publicly show Black people can apologize and be. So I respect them in that respect.
Let me say this though, man. When we were battling, it's different from now when the whole world see you.
Indeed.
Because certain things that I said, we're talking about, one rap I say, told a dude I, do this and this. First of all, I'm a whole different person. But back then I said, I'll F your woman and she'll be so open, dude, you can stick your hand in and play with her fallopian tube. Well, first of all, that's misogynistic, number one. But two, gross. He took that and like, damn, and people like, God damn, okay, they going by, he pulling out fallopian tube, all that, right? So I effed him up. Well, if the world saw that, he might be like, I'm killing this nigga. Because he didn't embarrass my woman. He didn't embarrass me. I'm killing this nigga. It ain't just on the block rapping no more, and I'm tearing his ass up. Now I'm tearing his ass up to millions, maybe billions of people.
Well, let's think about it.
So that the stakes are bigger now. You saw what happened with Pac and Biggie. It ended in death.
So that's what I was about to say. That was when we was rapping. So I don't know. Just like you say, is it more violent now in Chicago than it was? I don't know if the stakes are bigger now. And the reason I say that is when we battle, I can speak for when I battle folks, and when you too, you just said it. We were on the blocks. You just said it. Where the real shit happens. We wasn't making records with people we never gonna see. So maybe it was even more dangerous because I was in the Bronx as a teenager and could have got missing at any time. So I don't know if it was more people in the 90s. I don't know.
When I'm
not saying it was more. I'm just saying I don't know if it's more dangerous now.
No, I know it's more dangerous now. When and you do too if you stop and think about it. If you stop and think about it, another ex-student of mine who I won't answer his calls, I won't answer his shit. Well, if that was back in the day, he just gone about his business. Or he come to my house, see me, which he probably wouldn't do, knowing my personality.
That'd be worse.
But now he gets online and threatening me. You better see me and all that kind of shit. It's more dangerous. Because also, I have family. He could just look at my family, especially the youth. I'm at so-and-so, and he go and do something to them. I have a student who was going out with his wife, and he's, we living the big life and doing all this shit. And I called him and said, take that picture down now. I can tell you exactly where you're at and what floor you're on. This is more dangerous now, brother, because there are people who know how to be dangerous, know how to use this technology to find your ass.
Oh, social media,
me in life now that I don't know how to knock on their goddamn door.
Social media is definitely dangerous. I mean,
yes,
it makes everything more dangerous. It makes society more dangerous.
It's made it more dangerous. Beef is more dangerous. You talk shit about me on the block, that's one thing. You talk shit about me to the world is another.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard to say, Bob, because now people talking junk.
Calling me Magoo Balogun. I don't care about that stuff. We clown each other all the time.
Yes.
So when I was told that Kamal was calling me Magoo Balogun, I got on there, clowning him. Well, he was upset. You told Balogun that I did, like, damn, why would you do that? And I was like, it's not a big deal for me. But I understood because he didn't know me like that. I could be a crazy motherfucker. A lot of people think martial arts crazy motherfuckers anyway. But now I found out who it is who said it. So the worry could be deeper than if he said that to that person. Now we live in the same state, of course, but say I was living in Chicago and he was living down here and he said that, and then the person called me and said, he called you Magoo Balogun, and I am a nut and don't take it funny. It ain't like I can just fly to Atlanta and do nothing. But if I lived in Chicago and I was a nut and he said something, I have people in Atlanta that I can contact who could find, and I do, who could find where he lives and do something to him.
Yeah, so in certain respects, I agree. In others, it's easier to hide where it wasn't back then. It's easier to get a profile with your face ain't on it and talk shit to everybody and nobody ever find you and see you. It's easy as a rapper to make songs talking shit about everybody and never come outside, where before you had to perform. They knew they was gonna see you certain places. You had to you had to be at certain events back in the days where you didn't before. So I definitely agree with you.
And you have to go to get yourself some food. You have to pay your bills. You have, so you can still be found, I said, by people who know how to be.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the people that's the dangerous people gonna always be dangerous.
Exactly.
So yeah, I agree with that.
That's my point. So for me, an apology can alleviate a lot of things, man. Well, you have nuts out here too. Like I said, one, we don't know their relationships are really, but just talking, period. If somebody feels like I hurt their feelings, okay, sincerely hurt their feelings, And they say it to me. It's been said to me. And you heard my, damn, that hurts me if I care about the person. And then I apologize, right? If I insult somebody out here, they still talking crap, you know, I'm just going to laugh it off. I used to just snap on the motherfucker. But I just laugh it off. But if they said, man, Balagoon, that really hurt me, man. I was trying to say so-and-so. That hurt me that you did that. That would bother me. And I would apologize fucking immediately. Doesn't matter how right I was in what I said. To apologize could save my life, your life, or Monique's life, or my children, or my wife's life. So an apology can bring peace. I don't care about it. A rap is not that important, goddammit. Or my ego is not that important. But other people are to me. That's just me. So if I got to apologize to bring peace, I'll apologize to bring peace. I've told you before, somebody insult me, I don't want to deal with it. I'll move on. You say, well, I'm dealing with it. I say, man, you know, I wish you wouldn't. I'm not trying to deal with it. Because if somebody says, well, I'm going to deal with Balagoon, and you say to somebody, I wouldn't do that. I'm doing it. And all they would have had to do was just say, hey, you insulted me. I apologize. And they move on. But if they say, well, I'm doing it.
You know, for a fact,
I'm going to kill them. So that's my, and they come to my house, you know. So, but peace could have been had. It could have been another way. That's my point in the whole thing. Damn ego. Damn that. I done enough of putting, well, I won't say, I've done enough work out here to know that I only will do work if I have to. Some shit is not that goddamn important for my ego to just, my ego got bruised, and for me to keep talking shit that could lead to death and destruction. That's all I got to say on it, man.
And I agree with what you're saying. I know you're speaking from a certain place, and you know, so I understand where you're speaking from. So I'll leave it at that. I don't want to go behind you and undermine anything you said or make it seem like I am. I mean, you know, commenting on music.
It's not about everybody has their own opinions, man. But I'm just.
Well, I disagree then. No, I'm just kidding, bro.
It's just how I feel about that.
I'm joking.
And you know how I feel about celebrities anyway, man. And for you all who don't know, celebrities are capitalists.
Be careful.
They represent They represent a capitalist organization, a company, whatever. So fuck them. I don't care which celebrity you name. Ooh. Even the ones I say, well, I love Robert De Niro as an actor. I love Denzel as an actor. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Yeah, bro.
Can y'all hear him? Because I think we just lost.
They represent this capitalist world, and so they will do what they're told to represent this capitalistic ass society.
Absolutely.
They will lie to you because they don't care about you. They will lie to the world if it pays them a couple $1 million. They don't care about you.
Absolutely.
J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, them niggas don't care about you. None of these niggas care about you. They're capitalists. I said it years ago on a panel. I said, be careful. And I know several celebrities. Don't take no goddamn celebrity as no leader. Don't take no celebrity as no leader, and don't take their word as gospel.
Absolutely.
God damn.
They're never gonna choose the best of us to be.
No, hell no, they're not. Hell no.
Okay, I think
this is right in line with what our show is talking about. Now, somebody said this is the worst beef since Arby's opened.
Yeah, we got the
my thing was just
David Silberberg. Where or
if it was Drake, it would probably be F that because there's a lot more behind the scenes that fueled the diss. J. Cole and K. Dot was always cool, but Cole got dissed because of the big three comment. Ooh,
Yeah,
y'all know this whole thing, don't you? God damn.
That's why I don't have much to say. I've kind of seen it, a little bit, but I definitely don't go 10 years back with either one of them.
I was gonna say, but I couldn't hear your comment you said about my signal messed up, so I didn't hear anything you said about after you said I think you said most entertainers are capitalists or famous celebrities are capitalists. I was just gonna say be careful because you might be on the big screen soon, and I may be too. I don't want nobody calling me a capitalist if I'm on the big screen. Now, what's gonna happen when they see you on the big screen?
So
when they see you on ET, what are you going to say to the people who say you are a capitalist now, Balagoon Ojatade? What do you have to say? We got the microphone right now.
I'm gonna say the same thing. Fuck capitalism. So I don't know where, but that's also why, as we'll talk later today, we have to tell our own stories.
Yeah, well,
I'm not gonna be now. Of course, shit. If Marvel pays you to be in a movie, be in it. My wife breaks on me today because I got contacted by Marvel to be one of the fight choreographers. And y'all know, I said I don't believe Black Panther gonna get made until I see asses in the seats. Right? Until my ass in the seat. I really didn't believe it was gonna get made. So when I got contacted by them, I didn't believe it. I thought it was bullshit. So I said, okay. I wasn't rude. I just said, okay, well, thank you. And I didn't contact them back. And my wife was like, what in the world? Because, of course, she's thinking, well, shit, we could have, paid off this mortgage. Right? But
right.
I was like,
another movie.
I was like, that's bull, this is bullshit. They want me to choreograph the movie and this and that. It ain't never going to get made. So I'm just wasting my time. Boy, now that was a mistake on my part. Okay, so had I done that, I'd have said, okay, because when we do an episode on choreography, you understand that when you choreograph a fight, you're also telling a story. So you're telling part of the story of that movie. Okay.
Right.
Well, does that make me part of the capitalistic society? Capitalistic organization? I would say no, unless they continue. We want you exclusively as our choreographer, right? Would I take that job? See, that's why I love Coco's show, Confronting Contradictions. Hell yeah, I take it. One thing, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and bullshit you. Yes, I would take that job. If they wanted me to be their director of marketing, hell no. Because now that's pure propaganda.
Right.
So everybody got to have a line.
So that's what I'm saying about when you say celebrity, but I understand. Never mind. I ain't even got a question.
No, I understand. Okay. I can't say all celebrities. I'll say all the ones that I know and that I've ever seen on screen or on TV or heard on record. That's all I can say. I can't say all, but I can just say those.
There's definitely got to be a few that aren't.
They
but
gotta be.
I mean that's the exception that proves the rule. I just wanted to point out, Riot Starter TV says that they feel threatened by this program. So we're doing something right.
Yeah, well, he feels threatened, but he has no evidence.
Okay. So
yeah,
before we go,
that's fire, Baba.
Before we go any further,
I'm going to speak on behalf of Belay and myself and say,
thank you,
that the opinions offered by
I just say
anyone
this.
other than ourselves,
are
not necessarily.
Well, he knows, and Belay knows exactly what I'm talking about, and we're talking about that offline.
So, oh, wait a minute, real quick, before we get into it, y'all, those that are not from Atlanta or not maybe in the music world, somebody passed today.
Wait, hold on. He said he's right here. So brothers in the chat too.
What are we talking about? I don't know what we're talking
about. When I said he has to provide evidence. RSTV just said he's right here.
I love y'all. Let me stop. Hey, Tyler. Hey, Tyler. Hey, but
we love you too, Kalanji.
Yeah.
Now, we're gonna get into this because we.
I want to say real peace. Rest in peace to Rico Wade.
Get out.
Yes.
I thought you were gonna say OJ.
You gotta be kidding me.
No. Rico Wade passed this morning, I think, or maybe later tonight.
Wow.
So I want to
taken out of here, huh?
Peace be upon him.
Yeah, if you guys don't know who Rico Wade is, he's a part of Organized Noise. Right. He's a producer. He's responsible for Dungeon Family Sound. He's responsible for that Outkast, a lot of that Outkast Goody Mob sound that you hear. So a real music legend, an Atlanta legend for sure. So we want to definitely extend our peace and blessings to that family.
Oh yeah, Mr. C passed, yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
And OJ did pass as well. So anyway, all right. Let's get to it, y'all.
Let's give a moment of silence for OJ. Now, so anyway, that also when I talked about capitalism. So
yes.
I just say this. When he was in going through his trial, I went to the Million Man March during the time, right? And I watched right before I left for the Million Man March. And when he won, I felt that was a win for Black folk. I was also 26 years old or some shit like that. Now, 28 or whatever it was. Now you come back years later and Black folk, yeah, OJ. And then he says, I'm not black, I'm OJ. Capitalistic, fuck you. Rest in peace, OJ Simpson. All right, so now.
I was gonna say just to Baba briefly, I was in high school and I remember being in class and they let us watch the verdict. And I at that time I had just started going to an almost all white high school.
Wow.
And I didn't really understand. I think I saw how the culture was different, how people treated, each other differently. Mm-hmm. But that was an eye-opener for me of how different we viewed what was happening from, the view of most of the people around me, because they were devastated. Like, I mean, just everyone. Yeah, can you imagine? Like, I didn't say anything, but on the inside, I was like, yeah, everyone around me was like, oh my God, I can't believe, and I was like, oh, really? Like, then you see the glove didn't fit, I mean, it was crazy.
If the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny how Cam and Mace made a good point, man. I wasn't expecting to. I didn't watch the whole thing on OJ. OJ was working on their show when he passed. They had brought him on the show. So that
brought him on the show dead. You said when he passed, they brought him on the show. They were cold.
He was working on the show when he passed. When he passed, he was working on the show. He had been working on it for like 3 months. But they was talking about how it's funny how society, mainly white folks, how they the judicial system worked in his favor the first time we ever seen as Black people, really, in my generation. And exactly. in any other case where white people is involved, where the justice system worked, they never bring it back up. It's over. Mm-hmm. You were innocent. It's over.
Right.
And you don't,
life.
For the rest of your life, you don't see us and Black people. I hate when motherfuckers tell us to forget anything. Because we forget everything. And if we bring up anything, forget about that. Like, we don't never think about the thing that Cam brought up. We don't think about where's the motherfuckers that beat up what's the boy, the man name in LA? Can we all get along?
Rodney King, yeah.
The officers that beat him up and they innocent. They got off. They're never brought up again. We don't even know. We don't know their names.
Nope.
We forgot about them. We forgot about them. Let them go. They innocent. That's how they do their own folks. But any of us that get away, it's a tag on your head for the rest of your life, and it's
no
okay.
Matter what.
Understand where you at and how the rules are played, and that's all. And I think OJ forgot for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And they caught back up to him. So I just want to say, that's y'all funny out there, because I got a post, and I know a lot of these folks that I'm talking about, they watching the show right now, because I told them I was gonna be talking about them, but I'm really not gonna be talking about them because I ain't gonna give them no energy like that. But y'all some funny folks, man. When it come to y'all, how y'all do y'all own. What they say? What's the thing? That stay on code. They always stay on code. They stay on code for each other, boy. I'm gonna remember who those officers is, and I'm gonna start posting their faces and their whereabouts so we can keep up with them folks.
Someone must be keeping track of that.
Right.
The thing with us that's definitely different from white folks. White folks will say, and some of us now, if I had a family member that committed murder or was a serial killer, right? And I knew he's a serial killer, I'm not calling the police on my cousin, daddy, sister, brother, whatever. I'm not doing that. I mean, I'm not going to rock with them no more, but I'm not calling the cops on family. I'm not calling the cops because the cops aren't our friend either.
Not at all.
I would guarantee you the police have put more people in the ground than my uncle.
I'm still being followed by state troopers. I have nothing to say.
Yeah. So yeah. So he can't say nothing on that. They'll probably be following me now.
I got followed yesterday.
They've been following him since we had the Purge episode, and he said, "I'm gonna be riding around if the Purge come in a state trooper's outfit."
I didn't say I would be. I said you may find it might be me in the police.
He said, "I'm gonna do it after I kill about 10 state troopers." And they've been following him since. No, he didn't say that. Y'all already follow me, and y'all know what he said, state troopers.
Right.
So,
chill out, y'all. Chill out.
I was gonna say about the OJ thing. I didn't know what had happened with him, and I think I had been working like a lot over those days, and then when I saw someone mention something like that on Facebook, I went to look it up to see if it was true, because I don't even think they said that he passed. I think they just referred to it, kind of in a roundabout way. So I wanted to see if I could find it, and the only article that was recent right then that I could find was Ron Goldman commenting on the fact that he had passed, saying that it was no big loss. So that was, that was the view, or that was the point of view that I was able to find at the time. So even in his death, they went to this person and interviewed them and let that be the final word.
He will forever be, he'll be put, in pictures of villains next to Hitler.
Oh yeah.
Mussolini.
Right beside Mike Vick.
And all these people are, most of the villains that we know throughout history are so-called enemies of the United States.
Oh yeah.
But George Washington ain't up there. See, so all of that, man. Anyway, let's get into it.
Yeah, bro.
So from posters, and this is, the whole conversation is dealing exactly with this, right? From posters that advertised slaves for sale in the 1500s to the lumping of Zane's erotica with Charles Saunders' Sword and Soul on the same shelf in the bookstores today, there has been an unrelenting, powerfully persuasive, and seeming purposeful effort to promote Black inferiority in the media. For every positive image of Black people, there are 100 negative stereotypes.
Yeah, bro.
Sadly, many of them perpetrated and perpetuated by Black people. Images and words combined are very powerful and have been used quite effectively to convey this whole idea of Black people being less than, not as good as, myth of Black inferiority.
Yes, sir. We have become so insensitive or desensitized to our own negative typecasting and even dehumanization that we are no longer conscious of what we see, hear, and what's going on in our minds, and what's going into our minds. We have become a party to our own brainwashing. We have joined in and become our own victimizers. In the old days, white comedians put on black cork and made a living humiliating and ridiculing black people. A few years later, their senses dulled by this illusion called progress. Black comedians said to the white comedians, hey, you don't have to ridicule and humiliate us. We'll do it. We'll take it from here, boss. And they took it from there and carried it to hell.
Let's take the use of the word nigger, for example. Black comedians took this wicked, destructive word and took ownership of it as if to call ourselves a nigger was empowering, as if it was a term of endearment, and still vehemently defend its use to this very day. And no, saying the N word is no better. It is just foolish and strangely makes us even less human than our use of nigger does. Take Kanye West and Jay-Z's Niggas in Paris, now the politically correct N-words in Paris. What's Gucci, my N-word? What's Louis, my killer? What's drugs, my dealer? What's that jacket? Margilla.
Margella.
Marcella, I'm sorry. Doctors say I'm the illest because I'm suffering from realness. Got my N-words in Paris and they going gorillas, huh? Yeah, that shit crazy and nothing correct about it, politically or otherwise. I just want to just break in right now and say, please, in the future, assign that kind of thing to be like, I am like, I'm still listening. I'm one of those, I'm still listening to music from the 90s. So,
well, we also we can tell you went to a school with a bunch of white people.
I was almost out of school.
My N-word.
You, Baba.
Now I wrote that there because it's ridiculous. Yes, you did. It's ridiculous, but the way you read it was
I should have said it hipper. Beautiful. Okay, my bad.
So, the historian Carter G. Woodson said that black people have been conditioned to go around to the back door, and if there is no back door, we will insist on one.
Absolutely.
Okay. If we can get a black comedian to show up on a late night talk show and act a clown, it's comforting to those people who say, see, they are happy people. They aren't angry with us for 500 years of slavery and oppression. It is like approaching a dog you have abused, neglected, and chained up in your kitchen for a week, thinking, boy, I sure hope it doesn't bite. And if instead of tearing out your throat, the dog starts wagging his tail, you breathe a sigh of relief and say, woo, good dog. We have been conditioned to expect little of ourselves and of each other. Many black authors and filmmakers I know lament that they create great content, but black people pass by their stuff and go straight for Invincible, the cartoon, if you haven't seen it, or to Marvel Comics, Marvel TV Plus, or the MCU. Don't lament black creators, not creatives. I can't stand that, but that's the topic of the show. It's not creatives. You're not creatives. You're creators. Okay. Remember, we have been conditioned to expect little of ourselves and of each other. So most black people will assume, without any evidence, that your work is whack. You have to reach out and educate them. Show them that your work is just as good as or better than what they are used to. But you better make your shit good now. And don't make it too preachy, because it's going to be whack. Just make it. And on that, me and my crew were rapping on stage. This after I stopped being quiz and I became dialects. DIALEX, dialects later on. And I was part of this group called the Iron Lions. And we were killing on stage, people going nuts. And we went on before this group called I think they called the X-Men, Brothers from the Nation went on. And people weren't feeling them. And so their manager asked me, what do y'all do to make people feel you? And I said, you want my honest answer? He said, yeah. I said, we're not didactic. I said, let's go lyric for lyric. So we sitting up down with his boys and we're spitting lyrics. And I'm listening to him without the music. I said, I understand what you're saying, but your shit's so preachy.
Mm.
I said, you got 3 lines talking about the mother plane.
Mm-hmm.
One, people don't know what that is, and other people think that's spooky as shit. You talking about the mother plane. I said, but we're dropping things about misogyny, anti-misogyny. We're dropping things about being a good father, but we're not saying, don't be a misogynist. Be a good father to your children. We're not doing that. We're spitting dope lyrics and delivering it, and it's layered in what we're saying. So you got to be able to deliver to the people with your lyrics without being preachy. Because preachy is whack. They have people come on Black Power Meeting, do their raps. Some of them, good. Some of them are whack. Shit's so preachy. I'm like, man, get out of here. I don't want to hear a Bible.
Yeah, I don't listen to all that. I can't listen to it like that.
Yeah, it's
You
whack.
can't give it to me.
Don't be
Iron Lions is a
esoteric either, but
nah.
Just right there with your lyricism, use some good metaphors.
It can't be too preachy. Can't have too many crystals. You gotta have just the right balance.
Right. You can't be shea butter, and you also can't be preachy. You can't be, and really, that preachy, corny, that's another form of shea butterism.
I will agree.
They may act like they tough, but that's another form of shea butterism. All right. Wow. So anyway,
the Iron Lions is a dope name, Baba.
I think he stole that from the Iron Lung. Remember that was,
Iron Lung. No,
Iron
Lung is dope too. That's dope. Although I would not want to be on an Iron Lung, but that is dope.
Nah, I like Iron Lion. That's hard.
So, now the rap name I wanted was, they wouldn't let me have that name, but I've named a movie off of it. I wanted to call myself, 2 things: Revolution Indigo. They're like, man, that sound too PM Darnish, right?
Yeah, you can't be Revolution Indigo.
Yeah, I wanted to be Black Fists and Afros.
Come on, man. You one person. You can't do that.
Right. Black Fists and I got 2 fists. Black Fists and Afros.
That'd have been crazy though. That'd have been crazy. That'd be crazy.
Indigo, I love. I would have named my child that.
See, and if I'd have been
it'd be a nice name for a girl. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, if it had been a girl, I didn't know if I was having a boy or a girl. So
if you'd have named a boy, then I wouldn't have liked you as a mother.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's some boys named Indigo out there.
Yeah, he getting slapped up too. He getting slapped around. Yeah. So anyway,
let me just say to Jadarian, the reason why I said Belay should read that, I've never heard that song before. What? And I did not have time. No, I'm
she don't mess with Kanye. If it ain't,
I do now, but I didn't back then. So
he done gone nuts. Now you mess with him now.
I mean,
that's not politically. That's not.
I mess with his music, like you said. I don't know nothing about him other than
She into that electronica.
J Electronica.
You like that J Electronica?
He in the nation.
Mm-hmm. She like
that. Nothing wrong with that.
It could be shea butter if it's corny with it now. If it's corny, it could be shea butter.
He's one of the ones that layers it in. Like
he walk a thin line. He walked the gray line, Bob. He walked that gray line.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
He almost sometimes he be wanting to be. He almost corny.
I will not have anyone dissing J Electronica.
You're right. No disrespect, J Electronica. He watched the show. He a fan of the show.
Yeah, so
J Electronica.
Peace, Jay. Yeah. So you got to reach out, educate folks on what you do, and try to be better than. Now, trying to be better than Marvel could be difficult. They've got 100 years of storytelling behind them and billions of dollars.
Exactly.
So don't try to be Marvel. You can tell a better story, but it's not going to be better executed than them because you don't have the money to do that. So don't even try to execute better. Just tell a better story.
Right.
Most will still flock to Marvel. They love and have faith in good old Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and the boys, and the billions of dollars behind them. To chastise them for what for that will gain you enemies, not friends, and certainly not fans.
Yeah, boy.
Now, outside the Black geek community is where I have found my greatest support for me. Outside the Black geek community, when I write science fiction and fantasy, right? And that's mainly the movies and books that I do of this fiction. There is a hunger among regular Black people, those who do not identify as geeks, nerds, or science fiction fans, for speculative fiction written by and about Black people. At the Westview Festival, a neighborhood festival in the predominantly Black lower to middle class area near Atlanta's West End, I sold out all my books. I had about 120 books. I sold out all my books in less than a half hour. Less than a half hour. Mind you, my table was next to a table that sold at less than half price mainstream fiction and science fiction and fantasy by authors such as Isaac Asimov, J.R.R. Tolkien, Frank Herbert, and George R.R. Martin. They were right next to me, selling half off. I outsold them, right? Because they're like, this is a Black man? And people, the first thing they would ask, you wrote these? Yes.
So first of all, wait a minute.
They didn't even ask what the book's about. They just looking at the cover. I want that one, that one, that one.
Are you telling us, first of all, that you were somewhere? Where were you at again?
Westview Festival.
That's in Atlanta?
Yeah.
You trying to say you was in the South Atlanta and some Black folks was buying books?
Big time.
All right. I'm just making sure I heard that right. It's a myth. It's a lot of myths going on. We just got to make sure people.
Yeah. People say they people. We just dealt with that people from the South dumb and all that, but don't read. Yeah.
I've actually hosted a book fair and you was there.
Right. Exactly.
I forgot about that.
Place. Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
I forgot I had a restaurant and all of that back in the days.
And we sold well there too.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
So at the third annual Ujama Fest, a festival celebrating Kwanzaa's principle of collective economics, author Milton Davis and I shared a table. Once again, Black speculative fiction sold like hotcakes. At this festival, the participants were mainly culturally conscious Black people from all walks of life.
Before I knew you, I met you. I got pictures of you at that. Ain't that the one I got you?
That's why you had to speak up on me at. Yeah.
Exactly.
At both festivals, most of the people who purchased books said that if Black authors were writing science fiction and fantasy with Black heroes, when they were young, they would have been into it. But they were eager to get their children and grandchildren into Black speculative fiction.
That's me. That was me with my daughter.
People down here know Raheem. Some of y'all know he does a lot of posting. He's a influencer, an internet influencer. He came to our class one time, and he said, "Hey, he came to where we had class. We did from the Black Panthers to Black Panther panel,
right?"
And Kalanji's in here that he moderated. So me, Amosun, Kamal, on the panel is a sister too. I can't remember what sister, but anyway, so I had my books over to the side. And he's looking at the book. Of course, my books on like the urban self-defense manual and all that sold out quick. But the science fiction and fantasy, Raheem said, I've never read no science fiction and fantasy, man. And he said, but your stuff looks interesting. I'm reading the back some that the story looked interesting, but I never was into it. I said, I tell you why. Because you never saw yourself in it. He said, yeah, that's it. I said, you see yourself in here. And he said, well, I'm getting it. He bought 2 of the books,
That's what it did for me, my daughter. So,
right. Because you don't see yourself, man. Like, I was on a panel one time. I could post this on Black Power Media, where it was a panel. It's a short panel. But this sister said, Black people, this is a sister. Black people don't do science fiction and fantasy. I said, well, hold on. It's about 100 people in the audience. I said, who watched The Matrix? Everybody raised their hand. I said, who watches? I think Black Lightning TV show. About 70% of the people raised their hand. I named something else. Everybody raised their hand. I said, we don't do science fiction and fantasy. Of course we do, but to spend 90 minutes on a movie is different from spending maybe weeks to months in a book and you don't see yourself. I can deal with an hour and a half. I don't see myself. But weeks, days, I don't see myself. They're like, it's not that we don't want to read that shit. It's that we don't see ourselves. So it's shit to us.
Yeah, it's not relatable.
Right. We ain't relating to that bullshit.
The moves
and when we do say ourselves, we the savages. So we ain't getting into it. Kalanji, same thing. We were talking about it. It was the same thing. He said, man, I never read this, till I met you. And he got my books, and I put him in one of the books as the leader of this revolutionary organization, right? Well, it's because he hadn't ever seen himself. So this shit was whack. People I grew up with, man, this shit whack to them because you don't see yourself. But anyway,
beautiful thing.
So our people, just give it to us. Let us see ourselves, man, in film and things of that nature. Films by Black people about Black people.
Yes. While many of us want to see ourselves as the heroes and sheroes and recognize the need for Black speculative fiction and film, many of us cannot fathom ourselves as star-spanning, evil-crushing, saving the world heroes. The media is directly responsible for this. The perpetuation of stereotypes is always done through print, television, film, radio, music, and the internet. Flip the channel or turn the page, and there are the baby mamas and the baby daddies, so ambiguous in common American culture that they become plot points or titles for mainstream comedies and movies. The syndicated television program Maury, hosted by Maury Povich, is known for its "Who's Your Daddy?" segment, or "Is He the Father?" segment, pretty much. Much of the content is based on issuing paternity tests to teens and young adults in hopes of determining fatherhood. Many of Maury's guests are Black. And hold up, I lost my place. I said many of Maury's guests. Many of Maury's guests are Black, and the sheer number of these cases are damning. Shows like these, along with court television shows that promote the same dysfunctional, is very popular. Even, excuse me, stroll up a little bit there. Even Black millionaire housewives, doctors, and business moguls are portrayed as argumentative, catty, incapable of being unified and downright ignorant. Millions of viewers are indoctrinated by these images of Black family chaos, and we watch these programs like Glory Highway car wrecks because they involve so many people who look like us, and we accept and share these perceptions without question, qualm, or quarrel. And that's it's messed up because what you're seeing now is, I mean, just like the music industry, they give deals to Lil Shotgun Chevy, you know what I'm saying, and promote that, and then tell them, if he want to change and put out an album talking about his growth, they're gonna shelf that, and they're gonna tell him, we need that old Shotgun Chevy music, you know what I'm saying, or we don't want to hear nothing. And it's the same way with television, like they're giving people whole television networks. Like, oh, you good at getting these girls together and fighting? You can have a whole network on an app dedicated to that. You know what I'm saying? So this is keep mindful. And real quick, just be mindful that some of these things that we think of Black owned, like Tubi and things of that nature, and we flock to it. Even that, find out who owns it. Fox owns Tubi if you didn't know. So
yeah. Now, and real quick, when I forgot, forget it. I forgot what I was going to say.
I have something. It's something I've been noticing this week, but it's interesting. Like, you talk about how the media perpetuates these different stories, how they turn and actually start to cannibalize even the things that they are the ones who made popular, like the Me Too movement, for instance. Now they're doing stories about the origin of the Me Too movement and the backlash of all the different things that happen. But they're the ones who pushed this stuff out to the forefront and did stories about it every 5 minutes so that people will be talking about it. Now all of a sudden they go back and break down, what it is that they built up. This is weird now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's all social engineering.
Yeah, they just want
It's
they just
military
want eyes
strategy.
on the screen.
So
Oh, excuse me.
it's on you.
Excuse me. At a very young age, Black men and women are inundated with messages that they cannot trust or depend upon one another. Children see images of and hear comments and jokes about lazy, greedy, irresponsible, or otherwise flawed Black adults. Black characters have appeared in American films since the beginning of the industry in 1888, but Black actors were not even hired to portray Black people in early works. Instead, white actors and actresses were hired to portray the characters while in blackface. In addition, Black people have, for nearly 100 years, been purposely portrayed in films with negative stereotypes that reinforce white supremacy over us. Since motion pictures have had more of an impact on the public mind than any other entertainment medium in the last 90 years, this has had a tremendous effect on society's view of Black people. The media sets the tone for the morals, values, and images of our culture. Many people in this country believe that the degrading stereotypes of Black people are based on reality and not fiction. Everything they believe about us is determined by what they see on television and in movies. After over a century of movie making, these horrible stereotypes continue to plague us today. And until negative images of Black people are extinguished from the media, we will be regarded as second class citizens and will regard ourselves as such. We have not come that far since 1914, when Sam Lucas was the first Black actor to have a lead role in a movie for his performance in Uncle Tom's Cabin. This actually reminded me, I don't know if anyone has seen those tests where they basically show children about 5 different little cartoon characters, and they're all the exact same, except they get progressively darker. And they it's a psychology test where they ask the children which one of these characters is the prettiest, and they point to the lightest one. Which one of these characters is evil? And they point to the darkest one. Which one of these characters is a liar? They point to one of the dark ones, Like, I mean, that is a result of the things that we continue to be told, not just on television, but definitely, television and movies have been very powerful in that.
Also, what you were saying about earlier about them imitating us, but at that time, it still happened in the early, all the way through the 80s, even the 90s, even as far as the early 2000s. I did a post a while ago that had I think what was it, somebody, who was the last person that played a Black person that wasn't Black? I think it was like a J Lo or something, played a Black woman in some movie.
I
She
don't
had,
know. I
she had
know
like curly
Angelina
hair.
Jolie played supposed to be a mixed woman.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie. But yeah, so it was happening as recent as the early 2000s. It was still doing it. And
Yeah.
so yeah, it's a thing.
Anthony Hopkins
Yeah.
played. Anthony Hopkins played a Black man.
I
Yep,
remember that. Right.
That
definitely.
movie, I'm like,
He was
really?
supposed to be passing or something, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's his name played Genghis Khan?
Oh, John Wayne.
Yeah, John Wayne played.
That
They were really doing it back then.
Mickey Rooney playing a Chinese dude.
Right. I remember that too.
Like,
Yeah.
man.
I remember being in my major was film in school, and I had this film class. I had to watch Uncle Tom's Cabin. Not Uncle Tom's Cabin, The Birth of a Nation. And I had to do a paper on that. So I was up watching it, and my mom, I was about to watch it, and my mom said that she would sit up with me and watch it because it was kind of late at night. She was like, I'll watch it with you. She was so disgusted by the images that she saw, especially because if anyone has ever seen the original Birth of a Nation, the mammy characters and all of those are white men. They didn't even use women.
Yeah.
They used white men with black face to portray Black women. That was what they wanted to portray. That's what they wanted people to see us as. So like she, after a few minutes, she like got up and went to bed. She was like, I'm sorry you got to watch this, but I don't have to watch it.
Robert Downey Jr.
Right. Oh, yep.
Yeah,
Tropic Thunder.
Black Tropic Thunder. Anyway, and they're gonna say, my black friends loved it. Damn your black friends, first of all, but your black friends are Uncle Tom's, obviously. Anyway, I am asked quite often if there is such a thing as a black science fiction movie. Supposing by black science fiction movie, they mean a science fiction or fantasy movie that features a black protagonist and majority black cast and deals with issues that strongly impact black people. Now, of course, people, that if you say that, the first thing you're going to say is Black Panther. Now, I tell them that black science fiction movies began in 1939. People are like, what? Yeah, with the release of Son of Ngagi. Ngagi, Son of Ngagi is the name, right? And that filmmakers, and I've seen it, that filmmakers continue to make quality black science fiction and fantasy movies today. You can, I think, watch Son of Ngagi, Ingagi, on YouTube. I think the full movie's on YouTube. And that filmmakers continue to make quality black science fiction and fantasy movies today. We learn a great deal about human nature by comparing ourselves to others and by comparing ourselves to fictional heroes and villains. Contemplating fictional characters helps us examine the nature of heroism and villainy. Through fiction, film, and television, we develop our view of the ideal person. We learn what to expect from good guys and bad guys, even in real life. What distinguishes a superhero from a supervillain? How do their basic personalities differ, and how has the media affected our perception of ourselves and heroism? Most people see themselves as being close in personality to their favorite superheroes and mimic their heroes' characteristics in an effort to live up to that perception. Most of us do.
Interesting.
However, if the fiction you read or see consistently portrays those who look like you as less than heroic, as savage, whether noble or not, as the eternal sidekick, as the first to die, as the one to sacrifice him or herself so that the real heroes can save the world, as the thug, the pimp, the whore, then how do you see yourself? In Blueprint for Negro Literature, Richard Wright discussed the problem of black literature. They, black authors, entered the court of American public opinion dressed in the knee pants of servility, curtsying to show that the Negro was not inferior, that he was human, and that he had a life comparable to that of other people. These were received as poodle dogs who have learned clever tricks. In short, Negro writing on the whole has been the voice of the educated Negro pleading with white America. Wright went on to say that every story black people write should carry within its lines, implied or explicit, a sense of the oppression of the Negro people, the danger of war, of fascism, of the threatened destruction of culture, the threatened destruction of culture and civilization, and to the faith of necessity to build a new world. What I have come to understand is that black speculative fiction should tell all our stories because they have gone untold in speculative fiction for so damn long. And I feel those stories should feature black heroes and an occasional black villain too. A criminal mastermind, that is, as well as the street thug, because I grew up knowing both. And neither were walking stereotypes.
Yeah, bro.
So when we get the thug, he's a stereotype. I remember, goddamn, in the 70s and 80s, they have the thugs wearing, they all had bandanas on their head. I ain't know no goddamn gangbanger that wasn't no bandana on his head, number one. And then they would have, like, in the gangs, it would be, black and white. They just all thugs wearing short leather jackets together and shit. Like, Where that happened at? What city?
Right.
What city are black and white in the same gang together, hanging out? I don't know no city. Now in Chicago, we have people under the 5 point and under the 6 point. Okay, you have the gay lords, which are white gangbangers, but they are not walking around hanging with the vice lords, who they both under the 5 point, but they do not hang out together. But neither do the vice lords and four corner hustlers, who are both under the 5 point star. Okay, so that even, but you definitely gonna have them with no white folk hanging out, and we all gang banging together. And you know, we are the world gang bangers. That shit is ridiculous.
The warriors.
That's the stuff they portray to us.
Right.
You know, even in Beat, when I watched Beat It, I said, this is garbage. I was a little boy. I like the song Beat It, Beat It. But you got the gang, first of all, and they tie themselves together with the knot. My father always said, if you have two men who tie themselves together and they have knives, they are either the dumbest men on earth, or they've prearranged this with, you know, I'm gonna stick you here, but it ain't gonna kill you, because that's asking to be tied.
Right.
It's theatrics. It's theatrics.
Right. It's good but it's poor theatrics.
Very poor.
Good theatrics. So if I write a good movie, you all, if you're thinking of writing, and you write the villain as villainous, but they know they're villainous, your writing is garbage. There's no villain that thinks they're a villain. Even in real life, we say whatever about Trump and all them. These folks don't think they're villains.
Right.
They think they're heroes. They're heroes in their story. We may think they're villains, but they think they're heroes. So don't ever forget that this is what you're dealing with. Otherwise, you make missteps in even dealing with these folks. So you think you can appeal to these people and say, hey, you're doing wrong, sir. You're doing me so wrong. They don't think they're doing wrong. They think they're the hero in the story and you're the goddamn villain.
Right.
That's why you're Darth Vader, the Dark Invader.
It's all perception.
Right.
It
sees action.
And it can be.
That's what you're trying to plead with the police. Sir, you're wrong, sir. And they bust your head.
Right. And then
they got hero. You are the goddamn villain.
Mm-hmm.
And they're bringing down the villain.
An example of how strong the imagery is and how strong that it can be for our favor or against our favor. I always think about this. There was a brother who asked a question. He asked me a question about 12 years ago. He was like, hey, what is your example of a good black man? And the first 3 examples was TV. I didn't have... The first thing that came to my head was Bill Cosby. It's the first thing that came to my head when he said a good father. I immediately went to Bill Cosby in my head, and then I thought about there was another TV father, and then I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, he painted the picture for you.
But it could be good or bad from that, is what I'm saying, because it can be so powerful that a young child will actually perceive. And this is not me as a child. This was 12 years ago. My mind went to a fictional character as a reference for real life shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's a tribute to how powerful imagery is. It's also a tribute to how bad we could be as people.
And it speaks. That's why
to the poor example of manhood in my life.
I've grown to understand why nostalgia is so important to people. People say, man, I used to say, why are people just so goddamn nostalgic? Why is that? You know, I gotta have my superhero movie this way. I gotta have, because like similar to you, a lot of these heroes became the example to many of us is the example of a man or a woman.
Right.
And so if you change that, you change the person's perception of what a man or a woman is.
And they have some strong reactions to that.
Have y'all seen Good Times, the animation?
Yes, I saw it.
Look, I have an aside, and then you can finish with the Good Times thing. My uncle was telling me about this last night. There is I guess several South Park games, you know, the TV show South Park. And as you can imagine, it's a very wild game to play. But he said,
I can't imagine.
You know, you have to make your avatar in the game. He said the darker your avatar is, the harder time that it has in the game, because that's how life is. Because that's how life is. That's why they made so the darker your character is, the harder the game is for you.
That's some real shit.
Damn.
All I can do is salute that South Park. God damn, keep it real as fuck. Yeah, I couldn't believe the actual Asian dude. I saw the skit before in court, and the Asian dude did it in real life. He actually, the Asian dude in court that said, I'm gonna just paint my face black because you're treating me like a black man right now. You're treating me like I'm a black man. He said the shit in court, man. He said it. I thought that actually happened in a show. I guess it's life imitating art now, but
now that's Gucci, my N-word.
Oh my god.
Your Baba too hip hop for us, man.
I know. I'm gonna have to listen to that song now.
But don't listen. You ain't gotta listen now. But it's real, man. You know this.
You'll love it. You'll love it when you listen to it.
Also, I said that to also be conscious of what's in your mind. I wasn't conscious of that until I got asked a question. Then I had to rethink. I had to reorganize shit in my head and replace it with things that's real. You know what I'm saying? And because I'm vain, I can disseminate the difference between fact and fiction, and I don't look at the actor and Bill Cosby and the movie. I don't look at all, you know, I don't understand how humans get carried away and they think the character is real, but we do that. And we got to be able to, you know what I'm saying?
Because the brain doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality. And it's hypocritical because now I ain't rocking with Bill Cosby. I'm definitely not supporting him. But Bill Cosby gets vilified, but Michael Jackson doesn't. James Brown doesn't. Now, we can say, well, because the evidence came out against Bill. Well, you know, okay, well, evidence came out against Mike. Evidence came out against most of these folks, if you want to call it evidence.
I was gonna say
we weren't in the courtroom, right? So when we talk about evidence, and evidence is very important.
Yeah,
but these charges are serious.
Absolutely.
It ain't about your emotions. It ain't about what you feel. It's about the facts. So what do the facts say? Now, we all are hypocritical, and that's okay. Because if somebody, my daughter tells me so and so did something to her, I'm handling that motherfucker. I don't need no goddamn evidence. I'll go off of her word. I better not find out her word is bullshit. But I'll go off her word because that's my child. And I don't want to hear shit from nobody else.
Yeah, bro.
We'll say, maybe you should no. I'm going off her word. I'm going off my wife's word. I'm going off y'all word. Just don't let me find out y'all bullshitting me. If I have to do something to somebody, right? You can put me in that position. And that's happened to me before. You know, sister calls, say, hey, this guy tried to rape me. So what? I'm on my way over. I learned how to handle those situations too. Number one, you call and say that happened, you're not going to know what I'm going to do. I say, I'll handle it. You're not going to know. I'm not going to discuss with you what I'm doing. Don't ask me what I'm doing. If you ask, I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to say it's not your business. Because now you call me, I'm taking over this. It's not your business no more. And it certainly ain't your business what I do. But she called, I get at least 20 brothers, and we go over. I snatched this man out of his home. I'm about to do work. His wife is begging me not to. I said, take her inside. I said, if she keeps on, she can go to the same place he going. If she keeps on, because she's a threat to me now. As I'm walking this dude to a certain place, the woman's husband comes to me and says, bruh, stop. They got into an argument. She's mad. She told him she'll get him handled and called you and said she knew you would get people, move them into action, and they would move on the road.
Wow.
After that, she couldn't call me. God damn it. If I watched somebody doing something, I would turn away. Because now I didn't put people at risk themselves, litigation, for their own possible death. And this man is in danger.
Right.
I said, man, brother, I'm sorry. He said, man, fuck you. I had to eat that. I had to do like Kendrick Lamar, take it on like J. Cole, take it on the because goddamn. Right? I said, damn. Of course he mad at me. He just scared, so he ain't gonna like try to swing on me or nothing.
Right.
I said, God, man. And this sister, I went off on her. And I said, only because you're a woman, I'm not handling you. I'm not handling you. I said, but I'm thinking of calling my wife, having her come over here and whoop your motherfucking ass. Man, it was, so you put people in these positions, man, and so it can happen. People say, that's when people believe women when they say, I'm with you, believe it. But God damn it, you better use your senses. Use your senses and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And some women, you say, well, I got to have evidence. I'm sorry. And when a man is accused or a woman is accused of something really, really serious that could make them lose their life or their freedom, we have to have evidence. Otherwise, we're being reckless with somebody else's life.
Right.
And so, we know recently I asked for evidence on a certain thing. People insulted. People insulted because they don't put it, they've never put in work in their goddamn life. And so they don't understand why evidence has to come. Otherwise, you're playing with somebody's freedom. You're playing with somebody's life.
Yeah, well.
You're playing with their livelihood. You're playing with their reputation. And you think because your word is enough? Hell, no, it's not. Your word is not enough. You got to provide evidence. If somebody does, but like I said, it's always, for me, it's exception to the rule. My 15-year-old daughter come to me and say about somebody did something, I'm moving. I don't, and even then, if it sounds off, I was like, you better not be bullshitting me. But nothing's going to happen to her except me just yelling at her, to be honest. If your daughter called me, Belay, and say, hey, somebody did so-and-so, the first thing I'm going to say, well, did you call your father? I tried to call, he ain't answer. Okay, I'm on my way. I'm calling you while I'm on my way. Did you know this so-and-so? You what? I'd be willing to bet if it was bad enough, all it would take was me calling you. Because you're not going to go into a whole, well, what evidence did Baby provide you? Did she say so-and-so? Did she have pictures of this gentleman? You're not going to do that. You be like, hey, I'm on my way and I'm trying to call her right now. Let me get off the phone with you.
It don't take much.
And we're on our way. Now, while we're on our way, well, we mock this dude, and she say, see, I told you they gonna whoop your ass. He gonna join me in school. I'm gonna look at you like, what the fuck? But I'm gonna move without evidence. So sometimes you can, you know, that's family. But other than that, hey, man. So if y'all reach out to us, be like, say, hey, so-and-so called me and said such and such happened. If I deal with that at all, I gotta investigate that.
Yeah, you know,
just you know, just so you all know, and I had somebody from Black Power Media email me about a white dude he said was causing him serious problems. And I'll tell y'all what it was. He said the dude, while he was at home, the dude rocking back and forth on his heels above him. And he wanted to know if I could handle that. I said, I'm serious. I said, he's rocking back and forth on his heels. He said, yeah, it's making a lot of noise. I said, no, you can handle it. I'll tell you what to say to him. He said, you know, I've spoken to him. Words not enough. I said, well, he hasn't done enough to do anything beyond words, sir.
Come on, man. Good God, y'all.
I'm serious.
And
this is why I never told you all, because it seems so
weird.
Trivial.
Yeah.
But to him, it wasn't trivial.
Right.
It was triggering something. So I didn't clown him. I didn't take it. I just said, sir, this is how you handle that. But you cannot just take somebody's life because they rocking back and forth on their heels. And when he said something to the dude, he said, then the dude started tap dancing and shit up there. Well, me, I would have laughed. I was this motherfucker. So I'd have been tap dancing or, you know, hitting his, doing the rhythm with his tap dancing with a broom or something. And I told him, don't let that bother you, man. It's just, I can't concentrate. Well, okay, well, then you have to speak to him or speak to management. And then finally he said, management, put the dude out.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So, you know. But
now anyway, he's homeless. Thanks a lot. You did it. Now that man homeless because he was tapping on you.
Man's homeless because he was rocking on his heels.
Damn.
Hey, you know, we can take it different ways. But anyway, y'all, I thought I feel asleep in trending, but maybe I'm tripping. What's up, y'all? Young Black economist. Hey, what's up? You thought you fell asleep and now you are asleep. You're in a dream. You're not woke. You actually. I do want
to shout out to Roman Emmanuel Briggs, our manifesto.
We need more directors like Med Hondo making Black cinema.
Jadarian.
Thank you, Jadarian. And thank you, Emmanuel Briggs.
Do us a favor, yes. So Thanos didn't think he was a villain. He destroyed half the world, half the population. Right.
The teeth
of the universe.
Right, the universe. Yeah, half the population of the universe, because
Teddy Cole.
That, you know, that would basically be a reset for the people. For humanity, well, not humanity, just humans, but for the universe, yes.
So, since Arby's open.
Now we're gonna deal with
we're
gonna deal with the movie recommendations. With 3 movie recommendations, we're gonna give y'all. Y'all can look up since we talked about these, you know, revolutionary movies and that need to be made and movies that are meaningful. Now. It doesn't have to have Black characters, but it should be relatable to you.
Yeah, bomb.
Okay. And if they're made by Black people, that's even better. With Black characters, that's even better. Okay. That's the best. But so I'm gonna do my number 1 film. Not number 1. I'm not doing it in a certain order. Just the first film for me is Battle of Algiers. The Battle of Algiers is a 1966 Italian-Algerian war film based on actions undertaken by revolutionaries during the Algerian War, which took place from 1954 to 1962 against the French government in North Africa. It was shot on location in Algiers, which is the capital of Algeria, in a newsreel style in black and white with documentary-type editing to add to a sense of historical authenticity. Most of the roles were portrayed by non-professional actors who had lived through the real battle. And that is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's forever in my top 3 films of all time.
Yeah,
Right.
but
Go ahead.
I wanted to do V for Vendetta. And the reason why I chose that, I don't have a synopsis of it. I'm not sure how many people have seen it, but
I'm gonna do it.
yeah, it really the current events that we see happening around us are really the kinds of things that you see in that movie, and the way that they deal with those events, and the way that they the actions that they take, they to me are very relatable. So if you haven't seen V for Vendetta and you would love to see something that touches off, a revolutionary vibe in a cinematic way, I would suggest V for Vendetta.
Okay. And I'm going to go with Spike Williams. I was about to say Spike Williams. Spike Lee's The Drop Squad
Ah.
came out in 19. You were going to say that one?
Yes.
Probably because you remember me mentioning this movie several times on past
I
shows.
saw Drop Squad when it came out, and that was the last time I saw it.
No, I'm saying on the last show we did a movie review. I mentioned this movie before because it's my favorite all time. One of my all time favorite movies. I always want to do. I want to do it over. And this is it's a 1994 American drama film directed by David C. Johnson,
I
executive
think it was
produced by
produced
Spike
by,
Lee.
yeah.
Say what?
I was gonna say produced by Spike Lee.
Right. And if y'all don't know who, and the screenplay is by David C. Johnson. It was originally like a 40-minute movie that he made. Um, if y'all don't know who David C. Johnson is, because a lot of people don't know that name. I know I don't know that name, but the Soul Glow dude. It was the dude with the Soul Glow wet fro. He's been on so many things, but more people know him from the Soul Glow afro than anything else. So it was actually his. This is really his story that he executive produced. So it's a plot. The plot depicts a team of African Americans who kidnap fellow Black people who they feel have betrayed their community and seek to deprogram them so that they will change their ways. The acronym for DROP stands for Deprogramming and Restoration of Pride. The film has been described as part thriller, part social satire, but it is one of my favorite all time. I want to remake it. Me and Bob would need to remake this movie so bad and make it more serious and more funny, but more serious than it was back then. It's just a great. It's just a great for me. It's just a great plot. And like again, it was a 45-minute movie that Johnson made himself in 1988 off a $20,000 budget that ultimately turned into the Drop Squad. Another reason that I like it too.
My next movie is RRR. People be saying "rrr" and all that, right? It's RRR, and that means Raudram Ranam Rudhiram. It's a 2022 Indian Telugu language epic period action drama film about two revolutionaries, Alluri Sitarama Raju and Komaram Bean, their friendship and their fight against the British. It got amazing stunts, incredible martial arts, and a powerful moving story that makes you want to stand up and cheer. And that makes this an instant classic. Me, my wife, a couple of my daughters, well, several daughters, watched it. And, it was just like, okay, what we're going to watch today? We're just sitting, watching. And they were just in the room talking with us. They weren't planning to watch me. My wife was going to watch the show. Next thing I know, everybody just relaxing, sitting down, watching. Like, oh, because the opening scene is so action-packed and over the top that we're like, oh, we got to see this. This is crazy. And it keeps up the crazy, but it's got a great plot. Definitely revolutionary movie. some things you don't see coming. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah,
Well, great, not just good. So that RRR or roar, if you want to call it that. It's on Netflix, I think.
that's funny, Bubba. um, so okay, I was gonna say Drop Squad. So my third pick is I'll see if I can think of another one by the time my next turn comes around. But I was going to say I mentioned the original Birth of a Nation. I would recommend that you see the Birth of a Nation that was made by Nate Parker that got panned so badly because they brought out some accusations that happened to him when he was in college that had been well disposed of. And this is what Belay was referring to earlier, how even when a black man gets acquitted of something, you know, they bring it back up when it's convenient for them.
During the draft, he's getting drafted. He was acquitted of a murder in high school. What are you talking about? But go ahead.
It's a great movie. It's an incredible movie. It's shot very well, and I mean, it has a great plot to it. Of course, a lot of us know the plot, and you know the performances in the movie are great, but no one saw it because it was getting all this traction. It had won all these awards and small festivals. I think they had like a bidding war over it. You know, some major studios did the bidding war thing to distribute it. But by the time it actually hit theaters, they had besmirched this man's name so much that no one went to see it. And the people who any conversations that you saw surrounding it around that time on social media were already saying that it was a terrible movie. I was like, how do you know? It's not out yet. You know,
when you say nobody's seen it, I mean,
it's a rebellious movie or, you know, a revolutionary movie. I would suggest don't watch that first Birth of a Nation. See that second.
That's revolutionary too, and I guess on another side.
Oh yeah, that's a different podcast though.
But okay, so my second movie is going to be Action Jackson, and let me explain. No, I'm just kidding. It's not Action Jackson, but not far.
And shout out to God, what's the brother who played in Action Jackson?
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers,
who just passed.
Who passed too, yeah.
Yep. So and man, Luke Gossett Jr. We didn't get to say it. Did I shout him out?
Yeah, Luke Gossett Jr. too, yeah.
You know, Chappie. Famous part.
Yeah. Fiddler too.
More famous part. So
Chicken George. Oh no, that's right.
That's Ben Vereen, Chicken George.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with very popular Django. I have to go with that because
Django, which one? Django the white dude or Django with Jamie Foxx?
Come on now. What you talking about, Willis?
First was with the white dude.
Yeah.
It's actually very good spaghetti western.
It definitely. I gotta go with that because for the visual aspect of it, you know, it just there's things in that movie that we've never seen for that time period. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's a lot of first in that movie when it comes to slaves and what we saw rebellion wise.
Right.
There's visual things in that slave movie, quote unquote, that has never been shown as far as rebellion and revolution in that sense visually ever until that movie. So real simple. That's it for that.
My final one is Quiet Storm. Now this one is hard to find now. I have a copy, luckily, but it's fantasy meets political thriller in Quiet Storm. A film is made by Shango B. Sang. It's a brother from England, I believe. It's a film centered on the acts of 4 characters, Baku, Chico, Yaya, and Kwame, who meet at a gathering of Pan-African activists in Gambia, West Africa. At this Pan-African meeting, the men decide that for there to be a positive change in the social and economic situations of Africans at home and throughout the diaspora, some of the problems with leadership must be rectified. They confront the corrupt puppet African leaders and their powerful patrons in the West and face off against their rivals from the underworld. In Quiet Storm, very important questions are raised regarding the appropriate strategies to throw off the yoke of settler colonists who exploit Africa's land and people. While there is plenty of action, there is no gratuitous violence. However, this movie does contain some violent imagery and strong language. The film's director, Shango Bisong, says about his hard-hitting film, Quiet Storm for me was a film that showed us taking active steps to resolve some of the problems affecting our people. It placed 4 Black men on an equal intellectual and political footing with our oppressors. The lead characters indicted, judged, and executed those who, in their view, were responsible for committing genocide on our people. Secondly, we wanted to use the film to raise funds for some organizations that were taking proactive steps to resolving some of the problems that affect our people. Get this film and thank you later.
Did you go out of your way to make sure you did obscure films that we may not know of, most people may not know about?
So people can get on Battle of Algiers #1. You can get that.
That's my number one. You turned me on to that, or USPI. Right. So I give you you or Kalanji. One of y'all turned me on to that one.
RRR is you can get that on Netflix. Quiet Storm. Look up Shango, SHANGO, B, letter B,
Betamax,
SONG, and he may have it out there. I have it, but without his permission, I ain't gonna post his movie. But somebody said Diallo put me onto that. Put you on the what? Quiet Storm, or something else. But anyway,
Algiers maybe.
So Quiet Storm is the movie, and Baku, Tico, Yaya, and Kwame, one's from the United States, one's from the UK, one's from the Caribbean, and one from the continent.
Yeah, well.
And all these 4 brothers, they pretty much go to war on the settler colonists in each of those places, and it's beautiful. Okay, so that's Quiet Storm. And yeah, that could be obscure now. It may be hard to find, but I actually got it from Shango Bisong, but I haven't been able to find him online in years.
Okay.
Of course, Shango Bisong wasn't his name. He may be up there, Jerry Witherspoon or some shit. He could be my Facebook friend. He could be in here. It might be I Manifesto, or
never know.
Don't know.
So. Okay, so I really don't have a third one. So my third one's
Spook Sat by the Door. I think you said that, didn't you? I thought I heard you whisper that. I thought I heard you whisper Spook Who Sat by the Door.
Yeah, I thought she said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, Belay talked about Drop Squad. That was my third one. Spook That Sat Behind the Door is great. I was gonna say Star Wars. I thought, that was one of my jokes. Also Hollywood.
Now Star Wars Andor, but that's a TV show, it's not a movie.
Oh yeah, that's true. But Rogue One.
Brooklyn Zoo said Bruce Riley is not a fan of the spook. His critique seemed fair, although I did like it. Baba, do you have a recommendation on Black animation? Black animation.
Let us finish our picks first. Let's
I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's right. Rogue One was definitely about revolution, though, and that is related to Andor. But I would suggest that you watch the series Andor first. Yeah. Even though Rogue One came out as a movie first. So that's one. I also I'm sorry, I forgot what my third joking one was. But yeah. That all of those are great recommendations, especially if you're in a mood to really watch something revolutionary that's dramatized, in a certain way.
And my third pick is going to be Colors. Like, if you haven't seen it,
I know you're joking.
All right. Very popular movie. Malcolm X. I mean, got to keep it real. Besides some of the things that people, there's a lot of there is controversy about historical facts in this.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a lot of to debate about that.
Like I said, dramatization of
Right,
revolution.
but just I'm only speaking towards the core parts of the movie, which is the core principles. Something I wanted to talk about the last show I forgot about. I wanted to give a shout out to just a friend of mine talking about his experience in the Nation of Islam. I think the Malcolm X movie really depicts how it happens for a lot of brothers. They don't get to meet Elijah Muhammad, but they meet a brother in prison that's that figure for them. And real quick, I had
But they can't beat Elijah Muhammad because
right,
Elijah Muhammad
right.
ain't here.
But they still meet God in the form of a black man.
And they a lot do meet Minister Farrakhan.
Real quick, I want to give an honorable mention because I think I want to get away from that transformation. That transformation process that they depict in there is really good and powerful, and I think that's the revolutionary aspect that I'm talking about. Honorable mention is a movie that's tucked away, people don't think of in this respect, but it's one of my favorite. And I'm going to even do the dial. I'm going to do the I forget. I don't know the terms. I got to get better with that. But I'm going to use one of the parts in this movie as a reel for my acting reels. But South Central, I think, is a very revolutionary film. I love the part where the dude is in jail and ain't trying to listen. That's the part that I want to use as a reel where he tell the dude, the OG Bobby Johnson, this dude is a triple OG locked up and it's a Muslim in jail. He ain't got no kind of power, but he got sense. So, and he not scared of the triple OG. That don't mean nothing to him. He in prison for the rest of his life. So that don't mean nothing to him. And the way he son OG Bobby Johnson in that one prison scene where he be like, I'm gonna talk and you gonna listen. Because his son died and he wanted to tell him about his son. And that part is so transformational in that little. I love that. So if you haven't seen South Central, I think it's a really good movie. A guy's in prison gets to see his son turn into him, and how that affects him. That's the revolution. That's the revolution within him that he has to have. And now he got to go out into the world that ain't revolutionary, buddy. They still on killing time. They still on demon time. And he got to move in that world. And I think I think they do a good job of showing that. So
Now
yes,
let me
those
say
are
this: on when you get locked up, okay, and this happened to me, and since then I've heard this from several brothers. A person comes up to you and tells you, and this came from the pod boss to me, you're not locked up, you're rescued. I stopped him right there. I said, let me stop you, dude. I said, this goddamn capitalistic ass cage I'm in hasn't rescued me from shit. So I knew who I was when I walked in these doors.
But someone who didn't would have agreed with him or at least listened to him.
They would have, yeah, but because they don't know. I said, I knew who I was. I said, but, and my point was, but for those who didn't, this ain't our rescue. This is our enslavement, brother. Our duty is to escape from our enslavement. Never to give credit to the slave master that he saved our goddamn life.
Right.
That was he ended up being my student up in there. But
Baba,
years later, I'm out and I'm on a panel. I'm on a panel with this dude who's a great artist, made this comic book, and this fool says slavery was one of the best things to ever happen to black people.
There you go. That's what I was gonna say.
And I went in on, well, first I was like, brother, that's not, I was trying not to say nothing because we're on the panel together and, you know, it was bothering me. I'm fidgeting with my hat. I'm sweating and shit. I said, well, I just have to say this, brother. Nah, you know, for myself, slavery it's not it wasn't great, it didn't happen. In fact, there's a lot of trauma that everyone I know suffered through from slavery. He said, oh man, you're an idiot. I said, I'm an idiot because I said that. I said, you have nothing else to say. I went right there. He said, what? I said, shut your mouth, boy. I'm talking. And there are people who, y'all know Wumi. Wumi was there. There are people who were there, saw that shit, right? Like, oh my God. Milton was moderating. He's about to go. I said, no. He don't get to speak no more. I turned my back on him and shit, which wasn't a good move, but I had disrespected him so far because, of course, he could have done something to me. But I turned my back. I said, me and you are speaking now. This boy has nothing else to say. Security came in, like, what? I said, go back outside and secure outside. I got this in here. Security guy looking like, oh, shit. He left, went back outside. I said, go ahead, Milton. I would not let that dude say nothing else. His wife was like, can he speak? I said, he has nothing else to say, sister. He said enough. He has nothing else to say. He can leave this stage if he wants to, or he can stay. I'll allow him to stay. He has nothing else to say. Go ahead, Milton. It was me and Milton having a conversation after that. I shut him down because for you to call, one, you insulted me, called me an idiot, but for you to call me an idiot because you said slavery was the best thing that happened to black people, damn, you don't get to speak no more.
It's funny how people think that's so deep. Like that's such a, that's coming from such a deep place and they've really thought about it and you really haven't.
And now my whole thing was, I said, Milton, the reason I did that, now he has to wrestle with the fact that he got shut down. He can't speak. Another man shut him down because of the ignorant shit he said. Now he has to examine, well, what did I say that was wrong?
Or not. Either way, we don't need to hear no more dumb shit.
Really, I didn't care. But the whole thing too is, if he had said something to me later, which he probably was too scared to, but if he had said something to me later, I'd have said, well, you said it's a good thing. Isn't this a trauma from slavery? It caused me to act this way. It's the best thing that happened, right?
But he could never consider that it's the trauma from slavery that caused him to make that comment in the first place.
Right. That's the thing. So, and I wasn't there to save him. I was there to shut his ass up.
There you go.
Now, had he not called me an idiot, would I have done that? No. So part of that was that shit too. You disrespect me, you're getting shut down.
Jamal 09 said, I would also like to suggest the movie Burn, starring Marlon Brando. It's a movie about how they tricked our people into a revolution in order to take over a country without going to war themselves. Interesting.
I might check that out. Burn. All right.
You was telling me about something too, Baba. You sent me a text. You don't got to tell me now because it's probably it ain't. But remember, I just remember. I want you to when we get off the air.
I hit you up about yesterday.
Yeah.
Fallout.
Okay.
Fallout the series.
Okay.
Oh, my uncles were talking about that last night. That's another show.
Yeah, Fallout is a good series.
Okay.
Check it out.
People say it sticks close to the game. I played the game maybe once. My son has it.
Oh, that's the movie everybody talking about. Okay, I know about her about that show. What a show.
But it's a good movie, right?
Cool.
Somebody said I just lost my mom. No. So okay, let me make this clear. Because I'm the one that put you out of Earn Your Liberation yesterday, God loves. Sorry again, family. I'm just trying to get my daughter home. I'm trying to stay strong. I just lost my mom. I don't know what to do. That's what I mean. Spencer said, Bob, I shut him down. Yeah. Get your ass out of here.
I think they're talking about
media and you're trying to grip people out of money. You're the worst type of motherfucker. And if I could put my hands on you, I'll whoop your motherfucking punk ass. God loves punk. There, I said it. When nobody else want to say it to your punk ass, I said it, punk.
I think they're talking about you shut down the person on the panel, though.
So we don't know what you look like. Don't come at them. If you have any issues, come at me. So I can put my foot in your fucking ass. If that will get you off of this thing where you're gripping on good people. These are good people here. People trying to learn. People trying to better themselves. Us and the people in the chat. Leave us the fuck alone.
I'm glad you said that because it makes me feel better about my gut feelings. Like I've always had this thing when I walk around town or places, I see people ask for money. I go on the spirit of that or how I feel that person. Something tell me, then sometimes I give the money. I just go right with that feeling. As soon as I seen that dude right there, I knew it. I seen it before at the gas station. That's the person that come up to you at the gas station. Hey man, hey look, my car right up the street. I'm just trying to get enough money to, you know what I'm saying? I felt it. You feel the grease off of it sometimes. You just feel the grease.
Mm-hmm.
And if you feel that, man, trust your instinct. That's what we can learn from that right there. So we don't want to get that too much energy. You know who it is and recognize.
That had to be addressed because he's all over the place. Help us get that. The same story every day. He needs the same help. Every day his mama died.
He run out of gas every.
Like how many times your mama died? And to do that, you ain't shit. My father died. Ominiki's father died. Bile's father died. For you to come on here and say your mama died so you can get some money, fuck you. And I'm serious about that shit. I want to whoop your fucking ass. So whoever you are, show up. Show up, try to bust my head, whatever you want to do. So give you the opportunity to put your hands on me so I can put my hands on you. And if I recognize that it's you, I'm going to send you with your fake mama. Whoa, man, motherfuckers like that, man, that's the enemy. Yes, now, that's a low-level enemy now. We got bigger enemies than that. That's a low-level enemy, but that's the type of enemy. So let's get back. Let's deal with the real enemy so we can get back to killing roaches. That's all I got to say about this motherfucker from now on, man.
Absolutely. And terrible segue, but I did want to actually, before we end the show, shout out to my dad. His name was Lowell Jackson. He transitioned last Friday, so it's been 8 days. Today's the 8th day. And he did not actually conceive me, but he did raise me. And he was the best man that I knew. So,
and so was you know what? When my stepdad passed, man, he was the best man that I've ever knew personally. Like my best example of a man was my mother's stepdad. I gotta say that. And I told her that. It made her cry, of course, but you know, it was his birthday. But yeah, so thank you for mentioning that. That particular part. So because it reminded me of that. So thank you for that.
Well. So thank you for the condolences. I think it was Emmanuel Briggs. Really appreciate it. I have received tremendous support from all around people in all walks of, all corners of my life in the past 8 days. So I'm very grateful.
Yeah. So anyway, and y'all know when we first started the show, I was easy like that. I haven't been like that in a minute. But a motherfucker like that,
yeah. Well,
you know, I always say, if everything fell down and there was no rule of law, I would kill motherfuckers like that, man. Feel me when I say that to you.
Parasitic, yeah. I mean,
feel me when I say that to you, man. That part of me ain't never left. I'm learning how to navigate. And in this world here, when Bele said something key, when he said, you know, we're gonna be making movies this year and stuff like that. I gotta be around certain people. And so I'll move certain ways, but when there's no rule of law.
I'm just smiling because I'm with you, man. You know I'm rolling with you. I'm with you.
Man, a mother like that, like, dude, whew, come with something else. You know, this is the last thing I'm gonna say on this, man. We were at the martial arts school. Dude comes in and he was saying, you know, his car broke down. His daughter still sitting in the car, but he walked, you know, had her lock the doors. He came and locked. She, you know, like 8-some years old or something. And he needs $5, you know, for gas or whatever. I pick up, like you said, I pick up the energy. He bullshitting. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at this dude. I said, shit, he had enough money for steroid. This dude is a steroid monster. But he ain't have $5 for that. But anyway, I ain't say it, you know. I can both like say, oh, brother, here you go, brother. Here you go, bro. Giving him the money and shit. And I didn't say nothing even then. He left out. Everybody else feeling the same way. They didn't give him nothing, so he got the $5. I think I can gave him 10. Dude,
big spender.
Then we going, so we're leaving. I said, just be careful, brother. There's people out here, they're not right, man. I said, I know you from England, motherfucker like that.
Right.
But I'm telling you, he wasn't right. And I just, felt in my heart. I said, okay, well, hey, you felt it in your heart to give it to him, cool. We're at the drive-thru at Checkers. Don't judge us.
How long ago was this, Baba?
This was before you started training.
Okay.
This was many years ago, before Billy started training. So this was over a decade ago. But we had to drive through at Checkers, and he's getting the seasoned fries. I'm getting the motherfucking burger. Y'all know me with the burger. So I'm getting the burger. The double champ, right?
Oh boy.
So he walks up, the same dude. Hey man, I just walked away from my car. Got my daughter in the car. Same spiel. Y'all can just give me five. I said, really? Dude, you just came from Marshall High School. And he just gave you money. No, that wasn't me. Really? How many short? I said, dude, you're like 5'3". How many 5'3" steroid monsters are walking around the streets? So he looked at me, mad. I said, dude, go ahead on. So he just ignores me, said, hey, taps on Akin Bobla's shoulder. Can you give me $5 or something, man? Akin Bobla's reaching for the money. I grab his wrist. I said, you better not. Roll that door up on this nigga. Just like that. You said, what? I said, roll the door up on him. I said, oh, you come around my side. I'm getting out in a second. I said, roll the door up. Akin Bobla didn't want to do it. I said, roll the door up on him, man. I got you. I said, you don't ever have to worry about damn motherfucker. And I'm in the car with you. You don't have to worry about that. You don't even have to worry about if he had tried to punch you, he'd be gone before he got his punch to your face. I said, but now let me handle this real quick. Open up the door. That motherfucker ran. I said, dude, don't worry about these fools out here, man.
I just want to say though, Baba, because you are a special kind of individual, and everybody may not have the same thing that Baba may have.
No, I don't expect it. Now, I'm not saying for y'all to do that.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. That's why I want y'all to. This is what I'm going to say here. You have be careful of what people like that person in the chat, what they make you wish. You see, Baba's saying it right. I want to see you, blah blah blah. Don't let yourself, man. I wish this, just be careful with that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't wish for no violence, to be honest with you. And y'all have heard me say I loathe violence. I'm just good at it, right? I love training.
Yeah, bro.
I love preparing myself. I do not like violence, but I don't mind giving it to you.
But I'm gonna keep it real. At the same time, you're a warrior. Some things that's gonna come out of you, and the wanting to protect the people from a person like that is your nature. You know what I'm saying? So for you saying I want to see that person, that's the nature of a warrior. I'm just saying for everybody.
And now that I'm calm again, he ain't got to come, but he's welcome.
I knew he was going to
say
say
like that. I say it like that.
Right, exactly.
And that's how J. Cole should have dealt with it. Hey, I don't want to battle no more, but you can still get it. That would have then people would respect him more.
That's all I want.
We
can end the show.
That is it. I had something else I wanted to say, but I think I'm not going to say anything.
I got nothing to say.
So,
no, I do want to say this.
I hope you're watching this J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar.
Absolutely.
First of all, J. Cole and Kendrick always watch the show. I don't know if y'all know that, but they always watch. Y'all need to make sure y'all watch it because they always on. You're going to be on the chat one day.
Jay Button probably watching now, but love y'all. Even J. Cole.
Let me just say this thing, Baba.
Huh?
let me just say this thing, because you talked about how we got good people, and we do have good people on watching Black Power Media in the chat in particular. You know, also don't become too hard-hearted when you're analyzing people. You definitely want to go with your gut. But sometimes you're out there and you might see a woman and she might actually need some help. You know what I'm saying? I have been in that situation where I had a bad battery. I'm at the gas station at 1 o'clock in the morning and I need a jump, and people won't even make eye contact with me.
No,
That's
that's
just
cold.
being nasty.
Because,
keep
you know,
your
they,
mind open, people. Keep your
right.
mind
So,
open.
you know,
Yeah, so
don't put
there's
yourself in danger.
no hard line. There's always a spiral, right? So,
Yeah, bro.
so yeah, if now I'm about to go on my walk. If I go on my walk and some woman walk in and slip, and even if it look fake and say she needs help, I'm gonna help her. I'm gonna be watching make sure ain't nobody's gonna sneak up on me, but I'm gonna help her.
Awareness tools.
You know, and that always be aware of your environment,
Yeah, bro.
but help people.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And you know, some people say, man, he wild with the way he wanted to whoop the dude's ass, blah blah. Because some people that you know, we built differently, all built differently. Remember, nobody think they're the villain.
There you go.
It's true.
So I don't think I did nothing villainous.
I don't think you did either.
I don't know if I did anything heroic, but I'm willing to. Oh boy, I'm willing to. All right, y'all. So love y'all. Stay black or whatever it is that you may be. Be careful out here and watch out for the grifters and other so-called bad folks to you. Right.
Watch all the smiling faces.
Watch all the smiling faces, the frowning faces, and others. Stay black or whatever it is that you may be.
Absolutely.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank you, Emmanuel Briggs.
Thank you, Emmanuel Briggs.
Thank everybody.
Yes, absolutely.
Peace.